Hi, this is Ming-Na Wen, and you're listening to Fanatics and the Fan.
That's right, folks. We've got another exciting episode of Fanatics and the Fan. I've got a special one for you. I am so excited. This March is Women's History Month, and like last month, I did something special. I am happy to introduce you guys to two of my favorite female nerds, and then one lady that I just won't trust with behind my back. So introducing first, she is a gamer, she is a cosplayer, she is a model. She does a lot of interesting stuff. She is a dog advocate and a woman advocate. Please welcome back to the show, Miss Kasha. How are you? I see Batman is not loving. He is clearly ignoring you. It's a Batman world right now.
Yes, he's tired. He had a big day of smuggling with mom.
She is a streamer. She is a voiceover actress. She has her own nerd army and that will probably come in the middle of the show. And she is my partner in crime for so many things. And we haven't killed each other yet. So I'm kind of happy about that. Welcome back, Loot. How are you?
I am good. The tiny army is settled. They're getting dinner. So they're all doing well. Our oldest is now 13 and 13-year-old girls suck. So there's that.
I remember being that age. I was horrible.
Oh.
I mean, I'm hungry. I could eat. And last but not least, and not her first time on the show that she knows of, but she's been on. I've done at least one interview with her for the show. But one of my all-time favorite go to the movie person with. She is a content creator. She makes, and I'm gonna let her tell you all about this shirt. She is an amazing cosplayer, although I'm still not sure she has that many clothes, and that's an inside joke between me and her. Please welcome to the show, Miss Kyra Nicole.
Hey, well, I am
overrated.
I am known as Arizona Power Girl or AZ Power Girl in the cosplay circuit. I'm a comic book creator alongside Alfred Trujillo. We own 183 Degree Studios, which is actually that shirt that Hawk is wearing right there. That's our fire logo, and that is our team shirt that we have right now. We create Fire Bitch, and just finished up our Kickstarter for Unstable Frequencies, and we're rolling into Indiegogo on that. I have my own cosplay little, I don't even know what it's called when you have your own like product line. Every year I do a calendar. I put out a deck of cards last year, a playing card poker card deck, along with a cosplay pinup book called 52 Card Pinup. That Kickstarter did really, really well. Super excited about that one. And I'm also the writer of Confessions of a Cosplay Diva, which is a pinup confessional from my perspective as a full-time professional cosplayer.
Which actually leads me to where I wanted to go first. Because I mean, you guys know we try to stay as nerdy as possible, but I've worked with each one of you, and Kyra, you and I spent a lot of time together recently, and that learning experience was, dude, being a creator sucks. But does it for the female? I have no opinion. I don't know. You guys are lady creators. Each one of you individually do your own sort of creations. What is that like, being a nerd creator in the current climate, which is, to me, when what's working with Kyra, I still feel like the world has not changed at all.
So why don't you start out? What did you see? What kind of what did you notice from this perspective now? Because you were literally behind me, like you were seeing through my eyes in that moment.
What I learned is sometimes being a creator sucks. Period. Like I said, I've worked with each one of you individually. I know some of your inside stories, but you in particular have had more abuse in the last year that I know of then and you're still here. How does that happen? How does one, go? I don't know. Some of the abuse you put up with makes me want to quit. So how does one navigate the world of being a creator, being an influencer, or being a nerd? Because you're also a nerd.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
You're one of us. It's okay. You're one of us. So, and anyone speak up. What is it like being a female creator, a female nerd in this current climate that we live in?
You have to definitely have a tough skin for all the comments. And I don't even have to elaborate on what that means because everybody knows. And that sucks. That in and of itself kind of sets the tone. Like, as a female content creator, we are immediately, it's just assumed, that we got it from our tits. That's the only reason we have any sort of content that's worthwhile, is because we just whip our boobs out and then people just give us money. That's not how it works.
Only it was at ADC.
Right? Right? But no, like
stay on that for a moment. They tell you this is a double-edged sword. So you're right. They think that you got it because you whipped out your boobs or you have boobs. But what they do is, because they think that, they take that nugget of weird ass stupid information. Are we allowed to swear here?
Go right ahead, dear.
Okay. And then what they do is they take it to new girls whose boobs they haven't seen yet. And they say, this person's famous for showing their boobs, and you could be famous too if you show your boobs. And so they go, okay, yeah. And then there you go. And so now you've got a bunch of like females kind of exploiting themselves based on a false sense of idea that they're going to be successful if they do what they were told someone else does. Even though that girl might be showing her boobs that's successful, she didn't get it from showing her boobs. She got it because she's smart. She used her business sense. She knows how to talk to people. You can see boobs anywhere. Why would you choose those boobs? There's more than just the boobs. But then they, like I said, they use this to, take advantage of women and make women feel bad about themselves. So that's where we need to be strong enough to talk to each other and love each other and build each other up as women.
Yes.
So that we are confident and that we protect each other rather than throwing each other to the wolves.
Absolutely. And there's so many like collaborations that bring out better content from two people who already produce good content. Like, when we collaborate and when we work together, we can exponentially grow, and just create even better.
Well, that goes to a whole lot of things. I mean, that entire conversation, the entire thing about, women being exploited, and a lot of females don't know any better. They think, okay, this is what I should do because this is what this person does, and this is what they said that this person does, and it works for them. I feel like a lot of times, a lot of females think that that's what they're supposed to do in a lot of things. Like, even in the modeling industry, a lot of girls get in and immediately come to me. They're like, hey, I want to do boudoir. This works for you. It's like, don't start there. Start with something that you feel comfortable with. Because they ask me, how do you get comfortable with this? If you're not comfortable with it, don't do it. Start with something that you're comfortable with. Because a lot of people do. They put that pressure on you. And back to what you guys are saying, as women, we need to be helping each other and supporting each other, just even like, hey, even making random posts on Facebook, hey, if you guys have questions, if you need anybody to talk to, I'm here to support you. If I don't have the resources, I'm sure I can find somebody who can.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm not excluding guys from this struggle, but I feel like women as a whole, we struggle with a lot more body dysmorphia. I feel like we're told what pretty is. We're told what beauty is. We're told how we are falling short. Or on the flip, we are aggressively complimented until like we're uncomfortable, because it's not like you look really nice today. It's, I bet you would look great on your back. There's the door. There it is. Like, it's not, hang
on. I had no intention of ever interrupting any of y'all during this, but for the record, that statement offended me. Just saying. So if you ever say that to any of these ladies around me, expect problems. Okay, continue, Luke.
Yeah, and that is one thing that, like, as content creators, we all have mods, and those are people that have our backs, and they're the ones who will like bounce the slimy ones out, because
Give
it's
them the boots.
yes. And hammer.
Working with
I think the
Kyra.
other day I had to tell him to fuck off because he literally was just disgusting. He's like, "Oh, I'll show you mine if you show me yours." You fucking pervert, fuck off.
So working with Kyra, I had fully intended on being prepared to deal with lunatics, just because it's Kyra. She attracts weirdos. It's not anybody's fault but Kyra's, but still. And
Sorry about Kara.
and turns out, not only does she attract crazies, but she knows how to get rid of them by being crazier than them, which is a little frightening for me. But it's a thing that happens. No, she's actually this is where I was going to go. Watching all of you ladies at con is unique because you'll have your own unique perspectives of cons, and cons have changed. Kyra, you're the most experienced at being a creator vendor at a con. So let's go with you first. Are you looking forward to life going back to normal, being a female creator at con?
I have decided that normal is going to change. I am going to spend more time at home because my content creation is changing from being predominantly cosplay to comics. I'm being a comic book writer and creator. I'm working on multiple books per year. Plus, I actually have gone from being the go to every single con in every single cosplay person to now I'm specializing as a cosplay cover artist. So I actually have more cosplay covers of comic books and than anyone ever, like of all time, including like Elvira. Like that's what I do. I have I'm known all over Kickstarter for having covers of other people's books. I even had a Dynamite cover. I was Vampirella. I've worked for Big Dog Inc., Totally Rad Comics. Of course, all my own stuff. So it's just becoming a situation where I can put out like deeper content, so now I have a book that has my story of being a full-time professional cosplayer, what it's like behind the scenes. With that, I've got my comic books. So I'm going to do fewer shows, and I'm going to do more from the studio.
Luke, you actually got the experience of being a con creator this year, or this last year. So are you looking forward to, because you're getting ready to go into the advertising portion of your new job with Geekmas?
Yes.
Which is going to be out there hawking your goods and stuff to the general public.
Right. We're gonna be like really starting to get the sponsors and everything for the event. And in my experience setting up the con, I even caught myself being caught off guard when I walked into a shop and there was a female owner, because I would walk into all of the game shops and I walked in and she's like, "Hi, I own this place." And I'm like, why did that surprise me? We're just kind of taught like this culture of like nerddom is more a boys game like than it is with the female content creators. And I think that that's opening up more, especially I feel like when we think comic books, when we think card games, we think that like we think more that it's the boys realm, and then cosplay, everybody wants to see girls because I think they view it as like different than what it is. I imagine, I have not gotten into cosplay. I face paint. So I'm like, this is what people see. But I know that a lot of people, when they think cosplay, they think like scantily clad. They think like they have all these misconceived notions about what all goes in to the creation for cosplay. But in putting the event together and in really getting to know a lot of the people who are local and who are nerdy, the conversation about what we've all kind of been through, being separated, being on our own, and not having the cons, because I had not gone to a con before the one I helped put together. I have been to several vendor events. I've been in customer service for most of my life, but I hadn't been to an actual nerd con before we had Geekmas. And it was interesting to see how many people were like just excited to see fellow nerds because it's been so long, because it's been such a separation. And it really, like, my content is mental health and makeup. So it really, like, the doors were wide open for the mental health conversation because people have been isolated and alone. And we have this thing where we take our insecurities and our brains will turn them into facts and then feed them back to us. We're like, oh, I don't feel like people should have to deal with me. And our brains are like, you're right, they shouldn't. And it like can get twisted really hard and really quick, especially when we're so separated. And so getting to put together an event where people were excited just to see one another was really, like, really positive. And I can't wait, especially since we're getting a head start on it this year. I cannot wait to see how it turns out here in December.
So now, last but not least, and why are you looking at me like that, woman? Being the female. Now, here's the question I've always wanted to ask you, because I know what gamers are like. And not for nothing, they're not nice people. They're just not. How do you navigate your gamer life? And now, mind you, the climate is changing. There are a lot more female gamers than there used to be. But let's face it, that's a huge. The only bigger boys club than that would be football. You know. So, Kasha, how do you navigate that world?
With a lot of alcohol. Like, to be honest, I mean, you just, after, gaming and dealing with the verbal abuse for so many years, you just kind of learn how to tune it out. But sometimes it throws you off. Like, I was playing Fortnite the other morning, and I don't know if this kid was, I don't know how old this kid was. He sounded like he should have been, like, in school. And I got called so many names, and I'm just kind of got caught off guard because and more, like, as the times change, these kids get more and more aggressive and cruel. And it's not even so much of the adults anymore. It sounds really weird to say that, but I don't have as many problems with adult male gamers as I do the kids. They are savage.
I equate that with the social media, instant gratification, and no monitoring.
I can see that, definitely.
Actually, what's funny is Kyra introduced me to a lot of this. Remember when we were at Planet and you told me that Twitter is not what I thought in my head, that you could do whatever?
You literally can.
And she was like,
Twitter.
she was like, there's sex on Twitter, Hawk. I'm like, what are you talking about? No, there's not.
Oh my God.
I was mind blown.
It is on and popping.
I was mind blown. I'm like, what is going on with Twitter all of a sudden? And it literally opened my reality to our world has changed.
We had my oldest just turned 13. And we have a blended family. So our oldest two girls are 2 months apart. So we're smack in between birthdays right now. And we had a slumber party. We had 5 more middle school girls stay over. We have 10 kids total. We had 5 extra over for a sleepover. And we're like, I'm a lot stricter than like anybody I know when it comes to content the kids are allowed to have.
But to be fair, you manage your house like a G, like for real.
I appreciate it. You have to though, like everything's labeled, everything's organized, everything has to have a system because otherwise it's chaos. And I had to have a talk with the girls. I was like, no running, no violence, don't listen to inappropriate music. And I had this one girl, like the whole time, I was like, that music's not okay. Well, it plays on the radio. I don't really care.
Oh,
I'm still telling you, I don't want to have to worry about my 6-year-old going to school and repeating any of the verses of the music you're playing right now. Like, I don't need to get a kindergarten phone call like, this is what your daughter just said. Great. Cool. So like we have in my house, besides like the typical swear words, stupid and hate are swear words in my house. And it's because I have seen more damage done with those two words. I can tell you that you need to go pick up your shit and you're not emotionally damaged by that. But if I say you're stupid and I hate you, that's gonna leave some marks behind.
True.
And it was so insane to me how just like naturally these other girls were here and just like they don't have limits and they don't have like any sort of censorship. I'm like, these girls are just 12. Like, it's terrifying. It's terrifying. And these were sweet girls. Like, they were kind and they were respectful, and that's great. But like, they go to a school with a lot more people, and it is terrifying the lack of censorship or monitoring that goes on in the kids that are my kids' school age.
Yeah.
And they live in a time like where they're easily influenced and have access to a whole lot of shit that can influence them. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to have a panic attack right now.
So that leads me to one of to a really important question. What are you three doing to improve the empowerment and change the conversation? Because you guys are basically in charge with the grooming of the generation behind you, even while paving the way for them as well. And we'll start with Kyra, who's looking at me like she wants to stab me right now. Ha, you ain't got no knife.
So, it's something that changes when your perspective changes. Women are competitive when they are in need. Poor women, ghetto women, women that are emotionally insecure, lacking in something, whether it's money or confidence or anything, they're going to be more competitive. When you start getting around women who are kind of your badass boss bitches, the ones that are successful in their own right, the ones that are confident, you will find that the female dynamic changes. So we all love talking shit. Don't even lie. Come on. No, I'm not. Yes, you do. And you know what? When boss bitches talk shit, it's like, did you see Krista's hair? She got that badass mermaid hair. And she made fresh scones before she went to work. Yeah, she got that job at that new office because she's a pediatrician now. Yeah, she's a doctor. So you're talking shit in a good way about your friends. You're like, oh my God, and she's so pretty too. Oh yeah, and her ass is like rocking. And that's how you talk shit when you're a boss bitch. You talk about how great these women are, and you see how fantastic they are. And you put all these women together and you're unstoppable. Let me tell you, you know how women that are getting married, they always make their bridesmaids wear ugly shit because they think that makes them look better. It doesn't. If you take a hot chick and you put her in a group of kind of ugly girls, that hot chick looks uglier. But you take a dumpy girl and you put her in a group of hot chicks, that dumpy girl looks hotter. We only build up. Tearing down tears everyone down. You build them up, you build yourself up. So even if you're a selfish cow, then you'd be like, hey, I am so selfish. I'm going to use you to build me up too. And if you get to come along the way, whatever, at least I'm up there.
Nice.
Yeah, women should honestly, you're right. I mean, women, like I always say, like people, like-minded women, like-minded people usually stick together anyways because you build each other up. But I'm also one that's huge on trying to build other people up and help them. Even if, they've severely boned me, I still want to help you. I want to see you succeed. I would still want to see you move up. And that's, I don't know, maybe it's just the dummy in me that helps people that have literally screwed me out of everything. But I want to see everybody succeed. And that's a huge issue that we do have as well. I mean, just people in general.
I think that caretaker role is pushed on us a lot too. So then even when we end up in abusive and neglectful situations, we still feel the drive and the need to fix it and take care of everything and make sure it's okay. But one of the things that I'm trying to do to kind of pave the way is talk very openly about mental health, about diagnoses and even suicidal thoughts and tendencies, because we don't talk about that. We don't. And one of the biggest women focused topics that is in the shadows is life after having a miscarriage. And we don't want to talk about it because it's painful, but we're also kind of taught to like, girl, hide your crazy, because you shouldn't bring the people around you down because you're going through something. And so like kind of what Kyra was saying, like we need to build each other up so we can build each other up. We also need to start becoming more confident in expressing who we are and what we've gone through, because then we can only teach other women that it's okay to express who they are and what they've gone through. And there are a lot of topics that are just so taboo and so hush hush. And I feel like a lot of it is becoming more open, becoming more of a conversation. But we're taught like, girl, fix your face and make sure that you are, you're not leaking that crazy out, because
Big girls don't cry.
Right. Yeah. You can't cry about it. Tears are manipulative. They can be. Okay. But it's not like it's okay to have emotion and to show emotion. And it's important. Like just because you're on the top doesn't mean you can't show human emotion. And I feel like we're taught that like the higher up we rise, the more we need to be professional, and professionals don't show emotion. And that should not be the standard.
And that is a great place for us to step away. Folks, you've been watching a very special, I am so happy, special episode of Fanatics and the Fan. These ladies are going to be joining us for our next show. We are going to get nerdier in the next show. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. We've got a lot of upcoming video games, so many upcoming movie releases. Yes, that's my notification. Deal with it.
Timing was perfect.
The timing was great.
TVs are coming back, so you were not gonna want to miss that. You can find all of these ladies. I'm gonna have all their stuff here. You saw it at the beginning. You'll see it later. Be sure and check us out at Fellowship of the Nerd. We are, if you can't find us, send us a message directly. It is all about nerds and mental health. And of course, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Fanatics and the Fan.